So you are stuck on an Ubuntu machine, and that Ubuntu machine, you don't know the root password. I got your back. Your buddy got your back. Roll the intro. That's enough. Okay. So you have an Ubuntu machine, and you want to recover the root password. You don't know the root password, and you're stuck. That is totally understandable. So let's jump in for one of an example machine, shall we? Let's get right into it, and let's then just troubleshoot the issue. Oh my shit, I just clicked the wrong button here. That's fine. So this is an example Ubuntu machine. This works with Ubuntu server or Ubuntu desktop. Just take your pick. And everything starts with a reboot, okay? Don't try to do this over the network. Don't try to do this over SSH or over Telnet. This will just not work over those connections. You need to have physical access to the machine, either being an actual physical machine, either being a machine somewhere on the networks, a machine somewhere on the cloud. It doesn't really matter. You need to have something that actually mimics, emulates, simulates, call it whatever you want to call it, physical access. You need to have physical access, okay? Either literal physical access or something on the cloud or similar that will give you similar physical access. Don't try to do this over the network. Don't try to do this over SSH. It will not work over SSH or Telnet because everything starts with a restart, okay? So you need to start everything. It's just everything starts with a restart, which means that if you are using SSH or Telnet, you will just lose connection to the machine. Okay. Second challenge is you need to reboot the server, and for most situations, in order to reboot the server with a reboot command, for example, you can just I'm not going to do that now, but you need to issue the reboot command to reboot the server or any other command. And most often at that times, you will require the root access to do that. So if you don't have the root password or you don't have sudo access, you may be SOL. Well, not that quite. There is a solution for that. So you need to reboot the server somewhat. Okay, you need to reboot the server in some fashion. Either you cheat a little bit or you have some sudo's access that nobody knows. Whatever, you need to reboot your server to get to the recovery console so you can recover the root password. So find a way to reboot the server. Even if that requires you to use your emulation software, your cloud software, or whatever the case, to force reboot the server. In this case, I'm going to force reboot using my VMware software. I will click Restart Guest. And if you watch closely, the restart guest action will actually do a quite clean over restart. Okay, so even if you use a cloud software to do that, in this case, I'm not using the cloud software. I'm using VMware software, which is basically the same thing. Come on, don't bug with me. It's basically the same thing. Okay, even if you use any type of menu on the cloud software, cloud provider, VMware, whatever, even if you issue this using the software's command, this is going to be quite of a clean restart. Okay, so even if you don't use any native commands on the operating system itself, this is going to be quite safe. Of course, don't take my word for it. Of course, I'm not taking any responsibility, but I had zero issues so far. So of course, this requires a restart, which means your server will stop serving. So you need to schedule this for some time that nobody needs the server, at least for a couple of minutes. That being said, we start the server the best way you can. I'm going to restart the server using this menu here. Next, I'm going to hover my hand over the Shift key. Okay, and this is, you need to hit your timings because the Shift key will stop the boot process to occur, and is going to give us access to the group software so we can initiate our troubleshooting. Okay, so hover your hand over the Shift key on your keyboard. You start the guest, and this may take a couple of tries, okay? And that's okay. I will try to make this work at my first try. but if I have to do a couple of times, I will do a couple of times. I will not edit this out. I will not cut this for these parts. I will show you in real time. So I'm going to restart my guest, and I'm going to hover my hand is over the shift key, and around this time I'm going to hit the shift key, and I missed it. That's fine. There's a timing. There's a timing here that it depends on the machine itself. If it's physical, if it's virtual, it's okay. If you fail, try again and try at a slightly different time. And I missed it again. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. Just breathe. You are okay. And this time I got it. So this is what you want to see. Your Ubuntu startup options. I could use the advanced options. So let me show you. If I go to the, let me show you this because it may be useful for you. I go to the advanced options and I go to recovery mode. If I go to recovery mode, any recovery mode will be okay to you. I mean, you can have one recovery modes or multiple recovery modes. This depends on how many kernels are installed in your system. You may have multiple recovery modes, but let's just pick the first one. This may be, well, this is kind of a bonus. I was not expecting to do this in this video, but here we go. So if you get this menu, you can try to, this is one of the things that can be handed to you. You go to the root shell prompt. This is going to give you like a recovery console of sorts. And if I hit enter, I will come back here. If I hit Control D, I go back here because it needs your root password to be successful. But I know my root password. I'm going to cheat a little bit. This is a recovery console that allows you to recover your machine if it's failing to boot. And if you can reach here, you can use it to recover your machine. But that's not what brought us here. What brought us here was the unknown root password. So we need to restart the thing again. So if you know the root password, you can use this console to recover your server if something is wrong. In this case, we don't know the root password. So I'm going to restart this again, and hopefully I will hit the shift key and the timing is okay. And the shift key is here, and I'm going here to I'm going to highlight the first bar where it says Ubuntu, okay? And if you can see here at the bottom, hit C for command line. That's exactly what we want. We want to hit C for command line. Well, not command line. I'm dumb. Command line is for another video. You don't want to hit the C. You want to hit the E for edit the options. You're going to hit the E key to edit the options. And this is going to show you the raw grubs password entries, okay? What you want to do here is go to the line that says Linux, okay? Go to the very end, and as you can see, my cursor is right after the handoff keyword. I can hit the end key just to get there, and I'm going to delete everything till the arrow here. Okay, hopefully that's all you need. You may have more entries, less entries, but in our case here, I'm going just to leave that number. That's the partition ID. Doesn't really matter. Just delete everything except that number. That number is important, and you will type RW followed by init, okay, equals /bin/bash. Okay, this is going to open a bash terminal for you to work with the system in very minimal condition. Okay, after you do that, RW equals bin/bash. That's what you need to type in. If you look here, you will do Control X or F10 in order to boot the server. So I'm going to hit Control X, and I'm going to let the server boot. It looks like a normal boot, but not quite. It's going to drop us here in the kind of a recovery console. Let's call it recovery console, guys. Don't be too picky. It's a recovery console of sorts, okay? So this is our machine, and if I hit the ID command, I am the root user without the use of a password. So this is very important to show you that you have to keep your servers in lock and key, physical or cloud servers, because anyone with minimal technical knowledge can come here and alter your root password. There are ways to prevent this, but that's for another video. Here, I'm going to change the root password as I wish. You can do a quick step just to check if your file system is read and write. So you can do something like this. And as you can see, it's read-write. So if it was read-only, you need something else. Type in the comments below if you want help, if you want any help with the read-only, if you get the read-only there. But we are at read-write, which is what we want. So our root file system, it's in read-write mode. Now just type passwd. You set your new password. We are the root user. You're getting the warning that the password is too short, but that's fine. If you are using a simple password, if you are using a more complex one, you should be okay. So now my password is set for the root user because I am using. Why is the root user? Because I was root. I confirmed that using the ID command, and I was root. So by typing passwd, I'm doing that. So I mistyped my password, which is fine. I'll do it again. Fine. If you want to make sure, just do this, and then you are for sure setting the password for the root user if you feel more comfortable like that. Now next, you just type exit. As you can see, it kind of went nuts. You could tap the reboot command to be safer, but it's fine. Let's just force reboot this. If you see this, it's just fine. Okay, you just exit it out, something that it just, there's nothing to exit to, you know. You are on a very simple process. That process has nowhere to go if you exit it out. So it gives you that panic message. It's fine, just reboot the server. You can try the reboot command if you want to make sure that that does not happen. It's fine. So let's log in with the user that we know. Let's log in with this one here. Then you will just try to make sure that we are with the root password. So let's go to the terminal. Let's type su-, and there we go. I am the root user and I know the password for the root user. That's pretty awesome. I'm sorry about my voice, I'm a little bit rough, but that's fine. Let me know if you have any comments below, any questions, and type it down on the comments below. This was how to recover the root password on an Ubuntu server or workstation. This went a little bit overboard with all the explanations, but that's just how I am. Like and subscribe, it really helps. Let me know any questions below if you have any doubts, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.